I feel so punked. Oh my god. Hi, and welcome to yet another fall reading vlog. I'm so excited. I am gonna say that probably every single video because I just am. I'm literally just so excited. For this week's reading vlog, I have big plans, huge plans. I'm gonna try to read as many books as possible because I'm doing a vlog dedicated to spooky romances or like romance books that I think are fitting for the month of October. I feel like this is a really big list. Also, keep in mind I usually only read 2 books in every YouTube video, so this is like jam-packed. Okay, so right now my current read is A Danse Macabre and I'm 77 pages into that right now. I'll give an update on that in just a second. And then I also want to read, it's the day before Mate by Ali Hazelwood releases, so I will be reading that. Soul Searching by Lila Sage came out last week and I still haven't read that. I recently bought A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping that I want to read. I also want to read Enchantra. I think that's it. No, and also Ali Hazelwood came out with a mini like novella. I think it's called Hot for Slayer. That I also want to read, but that should be like super easy. I think it's probably less than 100 pages. So I want to read literally 6 books this week and I'm gonna try my darndest to do so because I have to read all of these books immediately. They're at the top priority TBR list. So that's what you can expect from this video. But like I said, I'm gonna give you an update on A Danse Macabre. Honestly, I've never heard of this book before, but I watch Katie is reading and she was reading this book I think earlier this year or maybe at the end of last year. I'm not really sure. So it's been on my TBR since she was talking about it. And the premise is there's 6 ruling families of this city. And so there's 6 heirs that are all around the same age. They have to do certain political things together. Basically their election is like this lottery system thing and they have to do this ritual anyways. So that happens and then the new family is chosen to lead for a certain, it was like for how 6,000 something days is how long this family rules for. I don't really know like the nitty-gritty details, but that's where we're at right now. So the 2 main characters are Mercy and Wolfgang. It's a crazy name, but I don't care. Their families have been feuding forever. The book opens with them hitting each other and I'm assuming we'll continue with them hitting each other. So election just happened at the point that I'm at right now. I'm really excited to see what happens. On the back it says something goes wrong with the lottery system or like the tradition of who takes over and they have to team up together. I just know that from the back of the book. I haven't read that in the book yet, but I'm interested to see how that works out. And of course it's like they're gonna fall up with each other and I'm so ready for that. I think it's really interesting and it's also pretty funny. So I'm really excited to keep reading and I will keep you updated because I'm like carving out time in my day. Like I'm planning my days by the minute so I can fit all of these books into this video. So hopefully I can do it. I'm getting ready to go to work this morning, but I wanted to give you an update on A Danse Macabre while I'm packing my lunch and making my coffee. I got to page 167 and it's so good. It's really good, but it is not something that's normally in my book taste because it's very spicy and it's also very dark. Like I think it's a dark romance. They talk about murdering people very casually, so that kind of just makes me think it's a dark romance. Like I said, it's very out of my comfort zone, like so extremely out of my comfort zone. It's so well written. Like I'm surprised I'm liking this book so much because it's not something I normally would read, but it's also very well written and the world is interesting. And an aspect of the book is that these 6 families are like descendants of the 6 gods. So each of the 6 heirs, they have very strong personalities as it like corresponds with the god that they're devoted to essentially. And to go into like a little bit of detail about the romance between the 2 main characters, male main character Wolfgang is devoted to the god of like idolatry and worship and persuasion. So the fact that it's happened a little bit, but I know it's going to go into further detail where it's like the main female character has so much power over him that he's worshiping her. Like that's a really, really good detail, I think. Honestly, I'm really just updating because I think I don't know, I'm pretty busy. I have a busy day because I have to go to work, which obviously I always do that. But then I have to go to Barnes & Noble. And then I need to post my video for, I guess technically last week for you. And then I need to read Mate by Ali Hazelwood. So I'm like really trying to finish this book before I finish that. I don't think that's gonna happen because there's no audiobook for this book, or at least I don't have access to it. It might be on Audible, but I don't use that, so I don't know what to do. Anyways, I think I might be able to read like a little bit of it on my lunch break, but not nearly as much as I would like. I think that's it. I think that's all I have to say for now. I will update you with how far I get in the book, and I'll also see you later when I have Mate by Ellie Hazelwood in my possession. It's many hours later, and I have some updates for you because I read some more of A Dance Macabre. I did not finish it though. I'm on page 220. I don't know what I was at this morning, but I'm 72% into the book. And here's the thing. I know I was like, I really want to finish this book before I read Mate. However, the addiction of the book has passed a little bit because there's like not as much tension between the characters anymore. I'm still very interested in it though. It's just like I'm not dying to read it, where I'm genuinely actually dying to read Mate. I did go to Barnes & Noble and just pick up the physical copy as well as the physical copy of Soul Searching by Lila Sage. So I'm just gonna dig straight into this book. I cannot explain to you how excited I am for this book. And today, I don't know if anyone has been keeping up with Ellie Hazelwood like me, but she and a couple other authors essentially did this Kickstarter thing, and so they released, is it 6? Or no, I think it's like 9 books, or it's like 9 novellas through this like thing called Kickstarter. I didn't even know what Kickstarter was. I genuinely made an account. I signed up because I love Ellie Hazelwood so much. Like, I will do anything for her. So I bought the digital download version of the novellas because it was still expensive, but I wanted the physical copies, but I could not afford them. So anyways, so I have, and also that collection of books that the authors came together to make is like, it's a collection of like dark dystopian romance, which I've never heard of that genre before. So basically all I'm saying is that I have a full Ellie Hazelwood book and then 2 novellas on deck, and I'm so excited. I'm so excited. So I'm getting started. She thinks I'm about to give her a treat. I am not. Anyways, that's my update. Day. I have not finished Mate. I'm only 235 pages into this book and I love it so much. Why is there a plot point in this book that makes me want to cry? An Ellie Hazelwood book made me want to cry. Also, I think this might be the slowest burn that we've gotten from her so far. So I'm obviously loving that. I do love a slow burn. Nothing has happened between them besides some looks, which is my favorite. So I'm obsessed with this book. And I don't think I can tell you what's happening, unfortunately. But we are seeing more of the Northwest Pack because that's Cohen, the main male character's territory. That sounds so funny talking about this like it's normal. So it's set in the Pacific Northwest, which I love. I was like, why am I jealous of these werewolves? Because they live in the Pacific Northwest. I do really like Cohen as the main character too. Basically, anything Serena does not care about that pertains to herself, like he cares about for her, which is amazing. I do love that. Because she's a hybrid, there's a lot of vampires hunting her, and they're obviously trying to figure out who that is. There's another also like conflict between the 2 of them that's fantastic. So honestly, there's a lot of layers to this book. I feel like there's a lot more layers in this one than in Bride. Like I said, I'm obsessed. This book is so good so far. I really just want to finish it, but unfortunately I have to go to work. So I feel so punked. Oh my god. Okay, do you remember when I was like, there's like a plot line in this book that makes me want to cry? I mean, it's resolved and it's like completely fine. Or not resolved, but like, well, yeah, it kind of is. Anyways, I just fear that the main character, she was being maybe a little bit dramatic, but also not actually, because since she's finding out a lot about herself because she didn't know she was half werewolf. Obviously she didn't know. It makes sense, but like I actually feel punked because I was getting sad. I actually was feeling bad for her. I didn't know how this was gonna work out, but this makes so much sense. I don't have that many updates for this book besides I literally love it so much. This story is so good and I love the main character so much. I have to finish this tonight. I simply cannot go another day without completely finishing this book. However, I have another update that is not related to this book. Today at work, I read the novella Hot for Slayer during my lunch break because it's like less than 100 pages. I gave it 4 stars, I think, on Goodreads because it's like cute little novella. I probably would have given it just like a 3 because like it's just a little novella, but I love Ellie Hazelwood, so I gave it 4. And I still did think the story was really good. But that story is about a vampire and a vampire slayer, and during one of their altercations where he's trying to kill her, he falls and hits his head and gets amnesia, and then she's the only one that can take care of him because he doesn't remember anyone or anything except for her. It's so good. It's so good. It's so cute. Super short, like I said. So I'm super happy that I got that finished. I actually have to finish it tonight. So as far as my plans for after this, I'm trying to prioritize books that have a Kindle Unlimited because I canceled my Kindle Unlimited membership for after this month. So it actually ends on October 20th. So I need to read Enchantra, whatever, because that's on Kindle Unlimited. I will also finish the last, I think 90 pages that I have of A Dance Macabre. I have not forgotten about that book completely because I did just remember that I need to finish that too, but I'll finish that definitely in this video as well, just later on. So those are my updates for now. I'm gonna eat dinner and finish this book. Updates to give you. I finished Mate and I gave 5 stars. Who's surprised? I'm not surprised. I really loved this book so much. I think I like it better than I like Bride. This was really good. I feel the need to explain myself even though I don't at the same time. Obviously I really like this book, but it's not the best book ever. I just love it because it's fun. I do think it's very well written though, but yes, it's about werewolves, and yes, it's a romance, and that's a little bit ridiculous, but that's also half the reason that I like the book. But speaking of also it being a little bit ridiculous, but basically there is a part of the book where you're reading from the perspective of them being shifted into wolves, and I was laughing at that part because describing the feeling of them running through the forest was kind of cracking me up. So I did want to say that was kind of funny, but nevertheless, I still very much enjoyed this book. I love Ali Hazelwood. I know, I'm going to say it all the time. Yeah, I gave this 5 stars. I highly recommend. If you like Ali Hazelwood, you're going to like this book. If you like Bride, you're going to like this book. What can I say? Then I picked up A Dance Macabre, and I finished that and gave it 4 stars. I think it's good. I do feel like the ending was kind of weird. There was a conflict point that was basically just dragged out, maybe to the point of it being a little bit redundant, but I don't know, it's not that big of a deal because I thought the book was good. I liked the characters, I liked the setting it was in. I wasn't gonna stop reading the book over it. However, I don't think I'll continue on. I guess there's a second book. I don't know if it's gonna be a series or really just a duology, but I don't really feel the need to read the second book. I got what I wanted from the first book and I enjoyed it, and I'm okay with stopping there. I actually really enjoyed the concept of this book and the families and the gods and the city that they rule over. I thought that was quite interesting. So I did really enjoy that one actually. That being said, I am gonna start Enchantra tomorrow. I was gonna start it tonight, but honestly I was halfway falling asleep finishing A Dance Macabre. I really think that I'll be able to finish Enchantra before the end of this video, and hopefully I can get to another one, but we will see. I'm excited to get into this book though, because I've been having a great time doing this video, so I'm really excited. Hello, happy Friday. I listened to a ton of Enchantra today at work. I am 83% through this book. Yeah. I only have slightly less than 100 pages left. I do have thoughts about it. I think it's good. Honestly, Phantasmal was not fantastic. I thought it was okay, and it was a good spooky October romance, so that is the same reason that I'm reading Enchantra. I think I like it better than Enchantra just because I think I like the main character of this one more, and I also think I like the concept a little bit more. I don't know, it's getting slightly redundant because the games that she's going through in this one are not really very creative. I feel like in the first book there was more high stakes danger, trickery kind of situation. And this one, it's kind of just trying not to die, which of course is interesting, but not as interesting as the other one. I like the male main character of this one better also. I just like the setup and the concept, I think, better of this one, even though the games are not as interesting. Okay, let me just actually explain the whole entire book to you, because I just started going into details without giving you the overview. But the main character, Genevieve, goes to Italy because there's a man there who used to be close friends with her mom, and her mom died. You find that out in the beginning of the first book, if you haven't read Phantasma. Anyways, so her mom dies, and then Genevieve had been writing to this man pretending to be her mom. He invited her out there. She shows up to his house, and his house is Enchantra. And she gets looped into this like ritual hunt situation. His family is like trapped in this deal with the devil, and they go through this hunt thing. I think I don't know the specifics, okay? Like, I've been listening to most of it, so don't ask me any details. Overall, I like it a lot more than the first book, but to be honest, I'm not like going crazy. I need to check what I rated Phantasma, because I don't think it should have been very high. I gave it 4 stars. Okay, that's crazy. I definitely think this is just like a fun, good time, but it's nothing crazy, nothing life-changing, because I did also say that Mate was like a fun, good time, but I don't want to say it was life-changing, but you know, it's just not on the same level. So I just got home from work. I need to clean my apartment, unfortunately. So I think I'm gonna listen to the rest of it, because I listened to this whole book basically all today. That does leave me more time to read something else. So fingers crossed. I think I'm gonna read something else. I don't know what, because I could definitely finish the other Alec Hazelwood novella in the time before I need to upload this. But I also like am considering that I could read either Soul Searching by Lila Sage or The Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping by Sangu Mandana. I could read maybe one of those. I don't know yet. I'll make that decision later. But yeah, those are my thoughts on Enchantra for right now, and I'll keep you updated. Enchantra, and I gave it 3 stars because it was a fine book, a good spooky romance read. Nothing crazy, nothing groundbreaking. Yesterday when I checked that I rated Phantasma 4 stars last year, I think that's also because I read that one. I do think a lot of times when I just only listen to books, I feel a lot more disconnected. But honestly, I think I would change my Phantasma rating to a 3 too, because it's like, they're not anything great. But I started Soul Searching. I think I'm gonna have time to finish this book in this video, which I'm ecstatic about. I feel like I'm making really good progress. I'm so happy. I really was afraid at the beginning of this week. I was like, I'm not gonna read anything. Here we are on we're on book 5. So I think we're doing pretty good. So this is about, the main character is Collins, which is the main female character, and the main male character is Brady. So Collins is back in her hometown in Wyoming because she's under the premise that she's coming to help out her family's antique store and also help Brady with his shop. But she's actually like running away from something, which I'm not sure what yet. She's a photographer and she hasn't had a photography job, I guess, in a while. And she apparently has just been coasting off of her savings. So she also has no money, so she needs somewhere to live. And Brady, who has an upholstery store, has an apartment upstairs, and it's like split into 2 basically. So it's like there's 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, but then it's connected in the kitchen. And so he's sharing the apartment with her. She's helping him at the upholstery shop, like doing admin work and stuff. I don't know what she's been running away from yet. And another little fun aspect is that she and her sister, her twin sister Clark, can see and talk to ghosts. And so I've gotten a little bit of a glimpse of that. This is really good so far. I really did enjoy the Rebel Blue Ranch series, but I'm super excited for this to not be like a cowboy romance. Her writing is just as good as always, so I'm super excited about that. But I'm actually about to head to Barnes & Noble. They just opened a new one. I'm gonna go there. If it's not too crowded, it's the first Saturday after it being open. It might be crazy crowded. I'm like hoping I can sit and read, but if not, I'm just gonna go browse and come back and read, so. Update is about Soul Searching by Lila Sage. Also, I'm so sorry, I did put my retainers in because I didn't think about the title of this book or how many S's I was going to be pronouncing, so I apologize if you can hear my lisp. I'm on page 187. I really like this book so far. I think this book is surprisingly long because all her other books in the Rebel Blue Ranch series are quite short, like maybe 200 pages or less. And this one's really only 337. So this is not even that long, but for some reason, this feels very long. I'm surprised that the romance is actually moving so slowly, which I do love. I'm not complaining about that at all. I'm just kind of surprised. I guess, literally, what I'm trying to say is that I'm surprised that the romance isn't moving so fast because the book is longer, whereas in her Rebel Blue Ranch series, I feel like all the books were pretty like spicy from the start. Not spicy, but like you could feel the tension from the start. This one I really like because since they're living together, they're forming a friendship, and basically she's trying to find her passion for photography again, and she's doing that by going to all of her old hangouts in Sweetwater Peak. The main male character, Brady, had recently moved there, so he's kind of exploring with her. She's showing him all of her favorite spots. It's very cute. This reminds me a lot of a Funny Story, how I think her name's Daphne has that, I don't know, is it Miles? Miles shows Daphne around the city because he doesn't want her to leave. I feel like it's kind of the reverse of that. Oh, and then there's also the whole layer of her parents owning the antique shop, and so there's a little bit of family conflict between her and her sister. Yeah, I'm still really enjoying it. I'm going to finish it tomorrow. We'll see. I really just want to sit and read, but I'll keep you updated on what my plans turn into. Soul Searching by Lila Sage, and I think I'm gonna give it 4 stars. It was really cute, really good, really sweet. It was just I feel like also realistic romance story where it didn't feel too rushed or forced. And it wasn't too tropey, I feel like, even though he's technically her boss and she lives with him, which are 2 tropes. But it wasn't in-your-face kind of tropes, I think. And I really loved her family aspect and her twin sister and the small town. Small town without being like cliche small town. At the end of this book, she does eventually find out how to get her spark back with her job and also her relationship with her small town. And she goes about it in a really interesting way. So I'm hoping maybe in the next book that we'll get a glimpse of how that pans out for her. Obviously, I'm not expecting a lot of Collins in the next book because it's about her sister, but I'm just saying I hope there's maybe a little bit. I did think that there was also pretty interesting themes surrounding living in a small town, growing up in a small town, and then how she felt trapped in a small town, so she escaped, but at the same time, that's her home and she feels the most at home there. I'm not from a small town, but I do feel like I could relate a lot where, especially growing up, I mean, in high school, like, me personally, I always wanted to get out of my hometown, like, so badly. I wanted to go anywhere but my hometown, and now like that is just not the case anymore. Like I do love where I'm from, and I do feel like there are reflections of that aspect in this book, which I really obviously relate to and also think is a great story for hopefully a lot of people. That is going to be the end of this video though, because I did read 5 books. Yay me. I do feel like that's a bit of an accomplishment, not gonna lie. So yeah, that's it. I'm done with the romances. I know that on my little TBR I was gonna have for this video, I have The Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping left, and also the other Allie Hazelwood novella called First that I mentioned. I don't know if I'll include First in a reading vlog just because it is a novella and it's the After the End Kickstarter thing, so I'm not sure how many people, I haven't seen people talking about it online. I think that at the very end of all my fall reading vlogs, I'm gonna have another one that kind of is a catch-all for books that I didn't get to. So The Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping will probably be read in that video. If you were really looking forward to that one, don't worry. I will be reading it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hopefully will see you in the next one.